All right. Let's go. Upward Spiral Gang. We are back once again. It is Uncle Makara. I'm streaming a little bit early today because I wanted to talk about this topic, man. I think it's a very valuable and valid topic today. And I think that we can explore a lot of different themes here, okay, with this topic, because we are actively speaking about the new Earth and the new Earth paradigm. And this might be something that you might have heard of in your rabbit hole quest of spirituality. Okay, you've heard this term, the new earth, but not really known ways in which you can access the new earth and understand that, there is something available to me. There is something available to me for this and by this ancient consciousness, this primordial essence that's moving through me. Okay. So let's start to tap into these understandings. Now, to truly be able to tap into New Earth, we've got to understand a few things, okay? New Earth means you are a new human. One second. Let me share this with a tribe. Live. All right. Let's see. Okay. So New Earth requires you playing a new human. Okay. And probably, and I'm saying probably, you've been playing small. Okay, you've been playing small, you've been not really showing your best self. You've been limited by circumstances, people, events. These are the things that we have to notice because the answers are here. The answers are all around us. The answers are right in front of us as we're going and walking somewhere or seeing somebody. The answers are in our presence. So you have an experience of being loved. Many times in your life, probably you had an experience of being love, not being in love, not having love, but being love. It's your divine authority to say no to all of the things that are bringing you back into the old earth, the old world. Okay. So you have to detach from whatever storyline that you're telling yourself. And when you can do that through your awareness, that's meditation. When you let the guides show up properly on the right time, and you have a good relationship with you, your spirit guides will come through, man, without a doubt. Okay. Because now you're becoming a way shower of this reality. You're really leaning into something and starting to create it. And whenever we start to create something, there will be hesitation, right? There will be resistance. However, what if it were really easy, right? You see, the open heart chakra is connected to the collective unconscious, right? Collective consciousness, the hive mind, so to say. The heart chakra is a timeline jumper. The heart chakra is a manifester. It's where one becomes all. Okay. So there is a singularity aspect of this, where if you pull your pure awareness from the top of your head, thinking of random things that you're thinking about, and just rest it in your heart space, you'll start to notice this difference. Because once we exalt ourselves and others to this new earth, once we ask ourselves, how would my higher self view this situation? What would the most loving and wisest version of me do in this situation? Now we're working in tandem with the Brahman, with the Tao, with the Christ, with the Buddha energies. Right now, we're working alongside and co-creating with this infinite dance, this infinite poem, whatever you want to call it, right? I'm going to post the cards to see what's relevant for us in terms of oracle cards. Let's see what the divine masters have to say. And to be able to tap into this, just feel into a higher divine power and a love that permeates across all timelines, all dimensions at once. Okay. So I got Thoth. Okay. Thoth has been coming up quite a lot, actually. And this energy primarily, oh, you guys can't see it because of the background. Let me show you here. Okay. So Thoth's energy, okay. Notice this. Okay. This is actually how Thoth's energy feels. Like if you were to understand, it almost comes in and wraps around your this area and it soothes that area so you can get the proper downloads. It's almost like a royal uh understanding, right? But this says divine magic. The teacher awakens, the student becomes the master. Okay. So start to understand that you're going to have to lean into mastery now. You've been a student and you are a student of life, but now it's time to understand that you are also the teacher. You're also the healer. You're the way shower of this thing. You've got to teach people how to embody the state of mind. You got to teach people how to do it because people don't know. And you have to also teach them to know. You see what I'm saying? And the only way you're going to do that is to surrender to love, to yourself, not to your memories, not to your imaginations, your past and future. You don't necessarily need those, but they need you. Think about this. Your memories don't need you. Actually, you don't need your memories need you. You don't need your imagination needs you. Okay? The timeless you. You create time where you're waiting for your time frame. Okay? So if you understand that I got some superficial Mocha Blaster Spirulina 9000, and you're like, going around like, oh, look at my spiritual achievements. I've done this class, this master class, this Tantra workshop. Okay. It's still you're playing from old earth because what you're experiencing is more density than frequency. And I notice when I start to feel heavy, it's because the brunt of the world, I'm carrying it. I'm not connected to the world. I'm not open with the world, right? I'm feeling that it's against me. And we are such enlightened people that we can create a state of unconsciousness within ourselves. You are such a genius that you can create a feeling of lack, a feeling of, oh, I'm missing something. Oh, no, this has got to be exactly like this. We create it, okay? Prayer is feeling. Through your feelings, you're praying, okay? So when you talk about something stupid like twin flames, you create a timeline where you're waiting for this to happen to you. Okay. Not even embracing your own acceptance, but waiting some time. Okay. And then there's the weird ones where they just completely they stalk others or whatever. Oh, they're my twin flame. It's okay. Okay. That's bizarre too. All right. Sexual drive and connection is not the only, you're only focusing on, the lower chakras most of the time when you're thinking of twin flame, but also maybe you're just playing from a fragmented sense of that, right? You are the flame. Okay. You don't need a twin. You are your soulmate. You don't need a mate. What? If you experience more density than frequency, you will stay in this old paradigm. If you experience more frequency than density, you will start to rise into this new earth frequency because your awareness is Christ, is Buddha, is Krishna. Individual entities are manifestations of a singular divine essence in the concepts of Hinduism. You can't serve two masters because it's all God, right? You can't coddle your past and expect yourself to be better version of yourself in the future. You're serving two masters, right? You're serving the past world version, okay? You're serving the version of God in the past. You were like, why did you do that back then, oh Lord? Instead of feeling the aliveness and the spontaneity of the moment of the new earth and actually tapping in that way. You see? So the Lord speaks in the present tense, you see? The Lord speaks in active nowness, not in past syllables and future, soliloquies, none of that. I am healed. I am blessed. I am here. I am golden. I'm experiencing life. Whatever you say, I am, it creates reality. So don't cheat on your heart chakra with all other chakras, man, because the heart chakra needs your attention. It needs your attention to actually hop into this newer timeline of the new earth. But a lot of you guys, you have heart walls up. You've been doing the same patterns with the same people. And it's time. Enough is enough. It is time to let this go. When you focus on your trauma, you resurrect that trauma. Why? Because you're Christ. You feel it into your heart. It's alchemy, right? When you feel into your heart, that's alchemy. That's how you transmute the emotions. You bring it down here. This is the recycling system. Okay. And if we really are going to see this awakening, this grand Kundalini awakening from the seraphim dragon souls streaming down to create these higher conscious frequency outlets or pockets of consciousness, I truly believe there's going to be pockets of consciousness across the globe, many different energy centers where we go in the future for solace, different sanghas from different walks of life associated at different places, right? And the main thing will be, are they in full presence? Are they in feeling and focus? Are they understanding that even like in the Bhagavad Gita, right? Krishna encourages Arjuna to rise above his bitch madeness, his sentimentality, right? Like asserting that moral actions must be free from attachment, right? And grounded in duty rather than fear, desire, this like thing you're playing all the time, right? Or I desire it, but I also fear it. You can't gain that, right? Without dropping one and embellishing in it, right? So when you can act without either fear or desire, when you can act being driven by no personal gain, no personal loss, that's autotelic. That's flow state. That's no attachment to the outcome. You guys get that? So when you dial into the reality that's already been created, it's easy. When you're trying to spin the story web of yourself, like I'm here to save humanity and I'm going to save the old earth, you're trying to save the old earth from new old earth. You see what I'm saying? This is what a lot of light workers are doing. They're trying to save the new earth from the perspective of the old earth. And you can't. It's not the same level of thinking and feeling and beingness, right? Hey, all relations, Uncle Makara, that's right. Awesome, awesome. So, man, let's get tapped in today. I think today's a very powerful day because I've understood this download and now we can really start to spin this spider's web properly, okay? Properly. The one thing I've realized about abundance is what is the difference between abundance and gluttony? Okay? Very important. Let's ask the AI systems what they say about this. Okay, what is between? Okay. Okay. So let's look at the difference between mindsets first. So the mindset, it says here that it reflects a sense of gratitude, fulfillment, and appreciation, whereas the other one is excess and overindulgence, right? And it's often driven by a fear. Again, you see, it's not what our Krishna said to Arjuna about non-attachment. It's a fear of scarcity and unsatiable desire for more, which shows you don't appreciate moderation, right? You have this lack of control, right? This self-control. So that's gluttony, right? Now, the behavior itself is abundance is like giving freely, trust that there's enough for everybody. I don't ever run out of content, bro. I never run out of information, right? Because it's all just incorporated within my frameworks of my daily mind, and I'm just spitting my fuel, my flame outside into the real world like a dragon, right? That's all I'm doing. Okay. And when I focus on growth, when I focus on contribution, when I focus on enhancing the well-being of myself, then I'm in my abundance behavior. Okay. What does it say about gluttony? It says overconsumption, hoarding, an excessive focus on acquiring material possessions or indulging in sensory pleasures without regard for consequences. Okay. You're doing it without knowing that you're going to feel like shit later. You see what I'm saying? Now, I really had to challenge this last night. I was getting a big download to like, you should snack on some of this stuff. You should do this. And yesterday, Deno got me to write down on a piece of paper, you're not hungry, you're just bored, right? And put it on my fridge. And now when I see that, I'm like, oh, okay, right? It's like challenging my little mind. Why? Because I'm bringing it back to my heart space, my awareness again, so that I can decide or cut these two different options to make the right choice. And I said, right choice, not my choice. Okay. It's not my choice. It's the right thing to do. It's the duty. Right. And so the experience, it says, the experience of abundance is a feeling of satisfaction and contentment, knowing that needs are met and desires are achievable without excess or waste. And it says here, gluttony leads to emptiness, dissatisfaction, and guilt as the focus of quantity rather than quality. Okay. So here at Primal Sutra, of course, we are focused on both, right? We give information freely in a lot of quantity, but it's also quality information, right? It's not like I'm speaking out of my, uh, you know, excuse my language, speaking out of my butthole, right? I am basically creating pathways for you guys to learn this and synchronize with these teachings much faster, be able to apply it within your day to day, right? And it's also a healing thing for me to speak and just be able to speak and hold the frame and understand what is coming through this vessel. Because I am a channel, I need to understand my downloads much clearer. And when I say them in a video like this, I get all of the pieces aligning perfectly, setting up the perfect, ensemble, perfect orchestra that comes through. And I don't have to question that. I just have to rest and bask in the wish fulfilled. Okay. I have to rest and bask in that feeling of the rest of the new earth paradigm, right? So let's look at it like this, man. You're going somewhere and then someone tests you. Why are you doing that? Or why are you eating that? They're challenging you, your character. Okay. Now, the way to respond to this is, what if a part of you was telling this to you? Right? This person is telling you this. Why are you doing that? But then that doubt that you had in your mind, why am I doing this, has manifested outside of you into this other person who is now telling you your doubt. Sheesh, right? But what if you could reaffirm with yourself and with the creator that, hey, I'm doing me, right? I'm here to win just because. I don't need a reason. I don't need to justify anything. I don't need to over explain myself to anybody. Nah, I'm here doing my thing because I'm here to live life, man. I'm not here to live death. What? A lot of you are just living death, right? Walking dead, walking around, zombie like, right? Do you ever want to be like one of those adults who like gets very withered and slow and decrepit and stubborn and in their own world and very like, yeah, but that's not, I don't know. And they let their own ego create like a bubble around them, right? Rather than creating what? A sense of community, a sense of connection. The people who can maintain that heart space frequency noticed in life, right? They also get taken advantage of, a lot of them. I do know, right? But that's because they have to work on their boundaries. They have to work on saying no. No, I won't do that. No, I'm not like I'm not going to allow myself to stoop to this random density level, right? And sure, there's pain and insecurities, but again, all of that is self-consciousness, not collective consciousness. Okay. Because your insecurity is not the same as somebody else's. It's completely different. It's a subjective experience. The way that you are experiencing your emotions in your own mind is truly such a subjective experience. Now, you could say to me whatever you want, guys. Read the disclaimer. You could say, oh, it's chemicals in my brain. It's this thing. I've been trying this for so many things. I've tried everything and it doesn't work. I don't think you've tried everything. I honestly don't think you've tried everything. Okay. Because that's a weird thing to say. Okay. First and foremost, I've tried everything. Okay. Why am I left as the last resort for you? Why is Uncle Makara the one where it's like, oh, finally nothing else has worked, and then I'm going to go to him? Why not just check in with me to see if you're going about it in the right way? Just to affirm that, right? I have people asking me every day, test this for me, check this for me, do this for me, right? And now we're figuring out ways to automate it, like the receipts of Primal Sutra that we burn and so forth, right? We're finding ways to automate it. So this is it. This is this automation world that we're moving into. But why not automate our spiritual gifts? Why not automate the fact that whatever comes in, we can transmute it back into our heart space, using our heart as the alchemist to, right? Someone tells you a racial slur, right? Well, fuck you too, sir. Okay? That's the energy. That's the energy. Okay? Well, alrighty then. Right? Good for you. Good for you. Okay? That's how you stay in the vibe, right? You don't let someone pull you down into their world. What? I live in Shambhala and you're gonna pull me into like some weird Vampire Diaries sequence where you're like putting me in a dungeon somewhere? Like, yo, my majesty belongs elsewhere. Okay. My spiritual legacy and exaltation needs something different for this experience, right? I'm not gonna keep masking and bypassing and like scooping away from all of the very important questions that allow us to move in this world. There's some energy within you that lets you move, that lets you go. But that motive is also skewing you at times. So this is why you have to learn how to take action from spontaneity, not know what your left hand can't know what your right hand is about to do, right? The thing in the Bible. So it's really important that you step into this understanding of I'm going to be light on my toes, light on my feet, okay? But also I'm going to rise as light because that's I already am that. You are that Tao. You are that Brahma. You're just experiencing it through this, meat vessel or whatever. And sometimes we just ignore it, right? But yesterday I was looking at myself in the mirror, completely naked, right? Looking at myself in the mirror. And I was thinking, wow, like there's parts of me where I'm like, yeah, I've outdone myself. Like that's great, right? Then there's other parts where I'm go, huh, this could be better. In my mind, like as a person who's on self-improvement, your mind is constantly gonna want to try to improve the situation. How can I make this better? Rather than what? Being in complete and loving acceptance of what is. Doesn't watching a video like this take away your fight or flight, man? Because honestly, when you can understand that, what am I doing, bro? Do I really need to try so hard to impress who? Who am I impressing? Those people aren't even worth being impressed. You know what I mean? Yo, Ryan G. Man. By the way, Ryan G, thank you for the yellow candle yesterday, bro. Like that really helped. You know what I'm saying? Funky Atlantis, yeah. I just searched up New Earth and I just found, this is the kind of the symbol of New Earth. At least in my mind, it kind of looks like this, something like this. Not sure if we're going back to Atlantis again. However, I mean, in our path working, you already know we have a lot of Atlantean connection in our path working, right? Um, Man, I remember even back in the day, there used to be this random guy who like messaged me on Instagram and he was trying to start his own religion based on Atlantis and like Neptune, right? Ordo Neptunus or something like that. I don't know what ever happened to that guy, but he never showed his face again. So I don't know if he's still doing that or it was just like an idea that he kind of left up in the air and now it's in the quantum soup. So, you know, hey, it is what it is. Was some spirit messing with me last night? Yes, they definitely were, right. Um, yeah, we'll figure out who that was. Let's just pull some more oracle cards, just see where we need to go in terms of our abundance in this path working because I think that that's really what the theme is, and today's a portal day. So we will be seeing some very interesting things, let's just say, okay, coming up, including first contact with different beings. And again, we're going to pull and find all of the ones on the top of our chakra points and even below. So once that is complete for both of us, I think we can complete it. We can start working and helping others with that map as adepts. And then we measure our synchronicity. So we have some kind of a synchronicity measure that we use. Because once we know that, then we know that we're on the right path. That's our way that we're measuring this. Okay. So, Ryan G, do you want to write flow when you feel aligned? What is most important for our focus? Okay. Ah, is it this one or the next one? Next one. Oh, okay. Wait, wait, what? This is so interesting, bro. So I got Mary Magdalene and Mary. Anyway, let me try one more. Okay. Of course it's Isis. All right, last one. One more. Okay. Let's do this one. Ah, of course. Okay. Now I'm starting to see the clues here. It starts from the divine feminine energy. That's why we have to go to the heart space in order to peer through the edge and use it, right? So the downloads I'm getting from this, so I got Mother Mary, sacred vessel. You are the answer, be guided to your purpose. Divine experiences do not be afraid of being powerful. Okay. So this is you are a sacred vessel and you're going to have miraculous encounters showing up. So don't be afraid of your own power. You are going to manifest. You are going to move this thing forward, but don't second guess yourself as they're happening. They're going to show up, plop in, just be like, "Oh yeah, about time, baby. Let's go." Right? So that's the energy I'm getting from that. Now, the Isis energy is reclaiming your magic, calling back your power and what is rightfully yours. Okay. So your magic may have been lost throughout this weird, confusing time, right? You know you have some kind of spiritual powers, but they're kind of maybe buried under some rubble and stress of daily life. So you want to claim that power back, right? I am the rightful owner of these gifts. And you do that through affirming to yourself, right? Now, affirmations aren't like, I am unique, I am cool, or whatever, right? Affirmations is like you have to affirm it within your consciousness. You have to say it until you believe it, a powerful level, right? Like core wound affirmations, I would say, is the greatest, right? Um, for me, that would have to be something like, I'm safe within my physical body and I belong here and exist here for a reason. I fit in so fucking much that I am nothing and everything at the same time. I love myself. No matter what, let's get it upward spiral. Right? That's like saying that makes me feel good. It's like it changes the energy around of my core wound and it annihilates the old earth and creates the new paradigm of the healed self. Okay. Now, for Ryan G, I believe it's what was it again? I accept and love my raw, compassionate inner truth, something like that, right? So, yeah, man. Find out what your core wound is. Usually, we have an archetype for a core wound that pulls us back. That is our main theme of life, something we have to overcome. That gets split in our minds, okay? And yo, doesn't Sanat look like he lives here, right? Sanat's picture right here, right? The eternal youth. Doesn't this character, this energy, this essence, this solar logos of the world, this planet, he seems like belongs there. Straight up. Anyway, he says open channel, signs, codes, downloads, and sacred information. Okay. So that means we're going to get a lot of random epiphanies about this path. Okay. It's time. Okay. It's time. And it says, oh, this is cool too. Like what the card inside the card says, it says, Divine Master within, the voice of my inner teacher. I call on you now. Awaken and activate. I'm willing to remember you, and so it is. Ryan G. Sí, sí, sí. Ah, muy bonita. Wanna mess with me? You say, come on, pendejo. You think you better than me or something, man? You think you're better than me, bro? Okay. Kind of dressed like a cholo today or something. Um, yeah, so let's get back into this topic, man. So I think that the old Earth paradigm is particularly like a very stressed out paradigm, right? It's always rushing. It's always like, let's get this done and let's go for that thing and let's go for that thing, other thing, and then go for this other thing. And then what about that other one? Okay. Whereas the new Earth paradigm is more like, yo, let it rise in alignment, right? Let it unfold as it naturally should, but have some capacity of changing and weaving the web of your own storyline, right? Create something beautiful, something majestic for yourself because you are that truth, beauty, and power. You are those grand concepts that will transcend you eventually into that concept. So if you start feeling loving towards yourself, I am love, I am love, I am love, daily, 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 you will start to raise in your frequency and remain there, right? Because you're identified with the aspect of this formless essence or this expanded state of consciousness that permeates all, right? And so this is why we say I love you no matter what, because unconditional love doesn't need some kind of a transactional weird thing, right? It's not like I give you this and then I get this in return. That's a conditional love, right? I give you this and then you give me that, and then I give you this and then you get. It's like a compromise. It's a situation of like a seesaw effect. I have to sacrifice this in order to get this, and I have to, drop this in order to get that. And instead of that, why don't we work on connecting and creating bridges and even maybe putting the volume down of certain aspects of our life so that all of it can thrive from this higher paradigm? As we're raising up in our consciousness, we're going to be able to take on more purposes. There's one overarching purpose, but then there might even be some spiritual purposes or missions that you might have overlooked, right? And so just because you're being challenged by something, you might not see from your point of view right now how it relates to the greater whole of your storyline. So it's just important to just embrace it, and allow it to come through, come in. Um, I don't know if there's some kind of a holiday here today, because there's been music playing all morning. Like I got woken up to this funky music, okay? Or maybe it's just because the deities are celebrating too here. Um, Let me see if today's a holiday, man. Um, no, there are no holidays. People are just playing music just cause. Let's see, April? No. Okay. The 15th is Independence Day. I know that, but what in the world is going on? Anyway, it is what it is, man. The masculine urge to say it is what it is. So, any other questions, anything coming up from you guys? Like, how are you personally doing things to stay within this new paradigm of this new earth that is being created, right? I think, first of all, we have to call out all our BS stories within ourselves. Like, I have to be like this, or I have to do it like that. Just call it out and then try to reframe it and see it from the higher exalted state, the royal state, the majestic state. Like if you were a king or a queen, right? You were royalty, you were divine, divinely royal. How would you see that situation? And how would you adapt that situation within your higher framework and the way you do things in your daily life, right? So when you think that I am the king of my own reality, and then you're like, man, haven't gotten enough sleep, and I haven't really, done what I've been supposed to do, that's okay, because a king also has moments like that. It doesn't take away your authority or your power. It's just that you're letting your thoughts run the show. So you have to be like, thoughts, what's the best thing here for you, man? Like, let me sit with my thoughts and actually ask it. Like, what are you really looking for, bro? Right? Why are you acting in this way? Why so reactive? Why so serious, right? As Joker would say. Why so serious? Right? That understanding is so powerful because a life taken too seriously is honestly you're just going towards Ariman consciousness, bro. You're making things very cold and diluted. You're diluting the truth. It's like the truth is there and it's abundant and it's free and it's there to move us all, right? Like the genetic code or something like that, right? That abundance, right? It's free to move us. It's free to move us wherever we want to go. But then we create all of these different constructs and rules and like different things that we need to do. Instead, it's like, why don't we allow that abundance to be our norm? And again, we saw the difference between abundance and gluttony, right? One is like an overindulgence. It doesn't feel good within the body. Therefore, you need something to satisfy that, right? You need to fill that. Whereas abundance is like, there's more to go around. There's way more enough, right? It's a mindset thing. It's definitely a mindset thing. One is from a lower state of consciousness, I feel like one is from an exalted state. So gluttony at its most abundant, exalted royal state is abundance, right? One is like more from lack, one is more from love. Okay. So where are you coming from? Not where you're born from, where you coming from? What is the frequency, the energy that you're speaking from? Because you could even manifest from a deep level of fear, right? But that will need you to create more fear in order to keep that thing alive, right? And so why not get there smooth? Why not get there free flowing, right? Drilling it so much that it's second nature to you that you don't have to think about it no more. You just show up. All right, I'm ready, right? Ryan G, how many times have you had to roll the same fucking movements, right? Over again until, you draw first blood or something, bro. And then you get like awakened up. You start going, whoa, right? It like jolts you out of your system. And then you're probably like, fuck, you know? That there are these moments of when you are fighting where you start to pause and time stops for you. And all you can think about is just the next movement, right? And let's think about like somebody who plays that mental chess in a lower paradigm might be manipulative and deceptive. Someone playing mental chess at a higher paradigm is like a fucking psychologist counselor person. Okay. So one is the mind games, one is the mind, you know, mind expander sense, right? Consciousness expander. So we have to recognize that our own shadows just need to get exalted. They need to be raised in the throne, raised in its power, raised in its understanding so that we can lean and bask into the synchronicities that are emerging. And most channels that you go to, they tell you, you think you can make it? You think you're good enough? You think you have what it takes to do this? Okay? Bro, they're all trying to get you into fight or flight. Even the products and different things that you're buying, all they're doing is perpetuating more fear, right? If you buy this, then you won't have to worry about XYZ. If you buy that, then, okay? So, you know, I really need to say this, man. I know I don't want to say it, but I need to say it. This is my issue with people who are trying to sell like different products that are from a lack. You get what I mean? Like everything's going to be worse in the future, and therefore you have to buy this. It's all gonna go to shit anyway, and therefore you have to buy this. What? Okay. That's really how you're living your life. Okay. You are a spiritual guided being glistening in all its power, and you choose to be some pharmaceutical rep in some small company somewhere until your boss eats away at your time, energy, money, and it's like you're just like spinning around in circles, whereas you should be, conducting a whole infrastructure seminar for all of Narnia. Like, what in the world has this world done to you? Right? Like, how is one person, let's just say a relationship, one woman comes along and sways you away from your mission? That's her purpose. You're not meant to go with that. That's her purpose. She's meant to sway you, be a distraction on the mission, but you're meant to conjoin with her. Okay? You're meant to go, wait a second. No. You're saying that, but really it's this way. Let's go. Okay? That's the energy of it. But you keep going, oh, but yeah, I guess so, honey. Okay, we'll do it the way you want to do it. Yeah, that's fine. I mean, everything is fine by me. Okay, let's do this and also that. Yeah, I'm pretty understanding. I'm pretty open. I'm pretty nice. I'm pretty, but also I want that pussy. But I'm also pretty nice, I'm pretty understanding, but also I want that ass though. But still, I'm kind of nice though. I'm very polite, and I have the right. But yo, girl, you got that. It's that thing. It's like just like boom, 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 always in the mind, always in the mind, and it comes in. And it comes from lack, and you have to call it out and understand that, yo, I'm just a sexual being, baby. Let me just embrace that instead of hiding that, suppressing that away, feeling shameless for my activities. I am pure love, and that will melt away all the shame that is available to you. Okay. So with this power, you understand that, yay, yeah, sure, sure. Back in the day, maybe your counselors, your parents, your teachers had a responsibility in helping you heal past all of your shame, but maybe not. Maybe it's your own responsibility. Okay. Maybe it's something that it's time for you to understand that you don't have to feel that way anymore, because that feeling is a prayer. The more shame you're sending out into the world, the more constricted you're feeling and becoming. Okay. So now it's time to be that love, be abundant, as Permanent Cop is saying, in your beingness, more is available to you. What more? How can today get even better? The key word is even, because it already is the best that it can be. Right? And that kind of thinking softens you into a realization where you start looking at yourself through the eyes of innocence and the eyes of loyalty. And there's something very magnetic that happens because you start becoming the most amplified version of you. You stop holding back so much. You stop pretending and putting up this pretense to others, like, yeah, doing this, it's kind of cool. Yeah, man. Awesome. Right. Instead of what? Hey, man, let's go. Right. Mathis showed this video to me today where this is two women arguing about like superficial spiritual topics. Like, oh, I attended this matcha ceremony. I attended this thing. Right. I went here and I did that. I have the amethyst newest necklace. I have this. Right. And so two people just going back and forth. Right. And it goes to show me like, wait a second. Like that kind of spiritual competition is not what we mean when we're talking about being the spiritual athletes, right? This is not some kind of a flex of like, you know, how many seminars you've been to or something like that, right? It's not like how many crystals are in your bag that we're measuring this. We're measuring synchronicities, guys. We're not measuring random stuff like, oh, how much, like, let me see your crystal quartz collection, please. Okay. Then we can make sure that you can properly get into this correct new Earth timeline. If you're not in that, though, get out of here, right? It's like, what? What do you mean? Spirituality has to look like something, has to be like something, has to feel like something, or is it just you? It's just who you are, and you show up and you breathe that. Okay, bro. If spirituality was really about a look, I would be like in a monk robe, right, with a turban, with like a huge beard, right? That's how I'd portray myself. Okay, maybe I will one day. Who knows? Okay, but for right now, that imagery doesn't relate to the advanced shaman that I'm becoming. You see what I'm saying? Like the advanced shaman I'm becoming requires me to not just go inwards, 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 and just slowly crystallize and clear up my inner gunk, but also expand, expand, expand out. Like an animal looks outside of it. It goes caw, it goes rah, it speaks out. Whereas we as humans, we speak in, we speak internally to ourselves, like, oh man, maybe I shouldn't do that. I don't know, right? So we have to be primal, be out, get out of your own head, get out of your own, body, open your heart up, right? Start expanding the dimensionally, the shape of your physical essence, right? A lot of people are just weirdly formed polygons. If you were to look at them like in a spiritual realm perspective, like just a weird ass shape, right? Irregular looking polygons walking around. Rather than what? Alignment, truth, symmetry, unity, purpose. A serious gravitas, but also one that helps align and heal humanity. Not like I'm trying to be mature. What? You're trying to be? What do you mean you're trying to be mature? Okay. You either are or you aren't. It's like you're half pregnant or you're not, right? It's like I'm half pregnant. What do you mean you're half pregnant? You either are or you're not, right? So we understand that as Primal Sutra, we can get into like a gray area, but I don't mean gray area like that. I'm not like gonna be an androgynous blob one day, okay? I'm not gonna be just a gray, an alien gray, right? I'm going to be the gray Jedi. Right. Thank you, a permanent cop. I know I'm cooking right now. I'm just tapped into the divine. It's not even me, bro. It's just energy flowing through me that I'm expressing. So give credit where credit is due. All praise to the Most High for real, for real. Okay. Now, if we were to access this palace, this Shambhala, this inner kingdom, we really have to understand that, wait a second, I don't think that my mind can help me get there, right? My mind can only create certain rules and regulations for how I'm supposed to do this thing, okay? It can create constructs and it can create a lot in the physical world. And if that mind becomes so full of ideas and insights and probabilities and storylines and like fantasies and all this kind of stuff, and we aren't pulling that through into our real world, right? Then it's going to cause some kind of turmoil. All right, Ryan G, peace. I'm going to end this soon. But yeah, there's like a turmoil, right? That's being formed. That turmoil is almost needs a turbine, right? The turmoil needs a turbine. It needs a system for it to basically the download I got yesterday from one of my students sent me this little quote about stress being the wind that helps you fly and give you wings, right? It's not the thing that makes you, take your wings from you or whatever that quote was. I think that that's such a powerful understanding. Use your stress to create flight, right? When you use your tension and you understand this is like a creative rocket fuel right now. And the more tension that I have, the more amazing I can manifest with that tension. Understand that, right? So it's like, yeah, I'm feeling like I'm in this absolute pit of despair. I can transmute that despair into something majestic and transformative, not only for myself, but for humanity. This is how great businesses start, how products are made, how different installations for different artists come through, right? Someone goes to a cave to meditate, or they have a weird dream, or they have an epiphany, or an egregore show up next week, whatever it is. When these things happen, they're just confirmation that you're on the right path, right? Because you're starting to peer through to the other side. You're starting to understand there's more to life than just me and myself, and I, okay? You think you're on the solo trek when it's a multiplayer adventure, okay? This is where you get to meet other people in the video game of life and get ideas from them. This is why we do podcasts to meet these amazing people and just speak to them, get their perspectives on different things. And once we get a perspective, we have to then understand where we're going to absorb that and where we're going to discard that, right? And where we're going to just keep it as it is or add what is our own. So the perspectives, there's going to be a lot of different perspectives, but you have to come back to how it relates to your story and other stories on your local community, but also expanding outwards, right? Like I'm here in Kolkata, India, but I've also traveled the world. So I have connections, right? Wherever I go. So it's important to understand this quality, right? This aspect of the reach of the new earth. The reach of the new earth is going to come through people. What is more of a, a real understanding of source than a person who walks and talks it, where you can tell, right? that they have this essence within them. What better way to clarify that there is a creator, right? The uniqueness of an individual and such a power in them. That divine power is trying to be hijacked, right? It's trying to be distorted, taken apart, rather than experienced, which is that divine gnosis, the Satori experiences, the enlightening experience, the awakening experiences, right? Buddha was awakened. He was an enlightened, remember, okay? So you have to be not only bodhi, but also reach towards that nirvana, right? So real Buddhist form probably is enlightenment, to be the light that all of us know to be true, to be that light, to understand that I am that light. When you realize I am that light, nothing else really bothers you to that very deep level anymore. Because you're able to just, through the awareness, what you're basically doing is you're using your awareness to clean up the old beliefs and gunk, right? And the false appearances. So once you realize that we are working in tandem with our body, our mind, and our spirit, we can start to create such a powerful ripple effect where all three of them are working towards our greatest ascension. And we can be the way showers, the ones who actually show others like this is the way to do it. And they're not going to follow us. Not everybody's going to be our student. Not everybody's going to follow us. And that's completely valid too. Everybody has a different path. Maybe on other times of the timeline. Maybe they've had past life karma to clean up this timeline, whatever it is, right? Maybe they have some other mission to do, some side quest weird thing, right? But I'm telling you, fuck all the side quests. It's time for the main mission now, right? You've done side quests for a while now. Okay, yes, little fruitfulness, but we want the greatest fruits of our labor. And that's going to come from pure discipline, pure purpose, pure activation of your superpowers, man. It's not going to come from you sitting around being a bystander. No, you're not a bystander. You are a way shower. There's a difference. You can be a bystander and watch as the pure awareness, but so many people have done that in their lives too, right? All of these ancient seekers and sages are saying, yes, be that pure witness, that divine consciousness. But what are you doing with that pure awareness, right? How are you being with it? What is the impact? What are you going to leave back once this is all said and done? What are you going to leave back? What is your body of work? Where's your craft? Where's your flow state essence, man? I want you to lean into that, double down on that today. Just decide and just do it. It'll be clunky. It'll be weird. It'll be dorky. It like when I first started this YouTube channel, you think I didn't have doubts? Like, oh, I wonder what, I don't know if I should talk about these topics. It's a bit too woo-woo. I'm not too sure. Like, no, I just went all in because I understood that people are going to get value from this. Others who are like me thinking these similar thoughts of, I don't know if people resonate or I don't know. And now we have almost like 5,000, subscribers now. So I haven't stopped, baby. And I'm gonna continue to grow and glow up, right? That's just it. It is in my dharma. It is in my nature. If nature expands every single day, there's growth happening. Why are we not growing? We are. We've just forgotten that we're growing. We've taken away and stopped to self-reflect on our actual path workings. So now it's the time to just remind yourself and tell yourself that I am enough. I don't need to, pretend or be like anybody else because there's only one of me, baby. And that's the best version of me that I'm going to be. Right? You can't compare, apples to a strange, fruit from another planet. Right? That's what we're doing. We're these strange fruits from a different planet. Upward spiral gang, absolutely, man. And you can be the weird shaped polygon if you want, but I'm going to remain, right? I'm going to remain as that spiral. I'm going to remain as just that triple helix, quadruple helix, just up to the skies. This is the rocket ride to the moon and beyond. Okay. This is an absolute adventure. Okay. I am Uncle Makara. I'm here to give you the scroll in the video game of life to help you handle all this BS, your belief systems, okay? Let's get it. Upward Spiral Gang. May we never be the same again. Hit that like and subscribe button. Share this with a Flomy, and you already know we're all going to make it.